We have three different brands of A2 ghee with us today, and we'll unbox each one. So let's start with this one. As soon as we remove the lid, so there is a certain smell, a certain aroma surrounding the air, and this aroma is a characteristic of A2 ghee, perfectly fine. It's a strong smell, a pungent smell, but very pleasant. You could say like a patient of asthma, if he or she smells this, he'll get relieved for once. So this is such an aroma of A2 ghee. And when we see the layer of it, so this top layer, when not disturbed, there is a transparent liquid there floating. It's very important. It's not a rule of thumb again, but if there is this layer and a layer of liquid which is conspicuously different from the sediments below it, it's a good sign. And when you drip it down like this, so there's a certain flow of Desi ghee, just like in the case of honey. This flow is of a certain fashion. And when you bring out a chunk from inside, from deep down, you see the granules inside, you see the texture of the ghee. It's a bit more evident, a bit more apparent. And what you see though, a very important process here, this layer of transparent liquid is disturbed in a certain way. So when you mix it like this, you could say the sedimentation that had occurred, it becomes a bit homogenized. So the process of homogenization starts with the appearance of these microgranules. So you see this. When you see this in a close-up, these granules, they're very, very small, these micro subtle granules, and they're formed in a cohesive structure in a peculiar fashion. So this is very important in A2 ghee. The more you see this phenomena, the better. And again, let's go a bit deeper down so you could get a bit more solid of it. And this solid, it is surrounded by granules, and the way these chunks fall down and the way whole chunk falls down, this shows the central fat of ghee, the way it falls down, the way it moves, very important sign. So this is a pure A2 ghee made from Bologna method, and this was made in front of my eyes, so you could see these characteristics in this ghee. And now we go to the second box. So bear in mind, all of these brands have pure A2 ghee. I have seen the process of each ghee in front of my eyes, and they are made from milk of A2 Desi cow. And we'll see the differences once we see the ghee itself, but bear in mind they are all pure A2 cow ghee. So when we open these two lids, there is a certain aroma in both of them, and the aroma is distinct, pungent, strong. The way we were talking about in the first ghee, these also tick the boxes. And when we take the spoon and see the contents from inside, so this one has a bit raw smell, bit raw aroma, like a bit uncooked ghee, a bit fresh ghee. And from inside, when you pull out the contents, so there is a creamy texture to it. There is no layer of liquid. There is no crispy, thin layer which gets separated in case of ghee sometimes. But again, this is because this is raw ghee. There is a certain content of a charch, you could say, of buttermilk in it. So it has not been processed completely. That is the reason you see the creamy texture, but this is pure A2 ghee. And these granules, you could see the granules are a rule of thumb in A2 ghee. These granules are very important. They are very central to the quality of A2 ghee. And so is the aroma as well. There is no mistaking these two things in any case. And when we see this one as well, so this one has some bubbles. You could see these bubbles they are not the healthiest of things that could form in A2 ghee, but again, this is pure A2 ghee. I've seen it get prepared in front of my own eyes, and this layer of liquid. So the way liquid drips down, it's the density of it and the look of it, it's perfectly normal. And when you bring out the contents, the aroma is a bit cooked on this one. And when you bring out the contents, so these granules are a bit widely spaced, a bit larger in size, and this chunk also, it's a bit more solid kind of chunk on this ghee. And the way it falls down, it separates, it's not as cohesive as was the first ghee. And of course it's not creamy or the way the second ghee was, this third ghee was, but it has its own special features. It has the aroma, it ticks all the boxes that we talked about. So none of the features are disqualifying. What we learned from this is A2 ghee comes in a variety of colors, in a variety of looks, you could say. It presents itself in different ways. Because I have seen the formation, so I can ascertain the purity of all these three. But the way they look, the way they behave, and the way we can judge these ghee are very different, very different. This one is a bit whitish in color, so the myth is busted that A2 ghee is always yellow in color. It can be yellowish, it can be dark yellowish, it can be a light yellowish, it can also be whitish. So lots of qualities of ghee actually are abstract. You could not judge them, judge those qualities just by looking at the ghee or by smelling the ghee. Very important is it to judge those qualities and look beyond what is visible. So where you get your ghee from, it's very important. What is the breed of the cows, and what is the quality of the milk, the way the cows live, if or not they are happy cows, if or not they are fed the proper food. Very important to look at these factors as well. Only those brands that have their own cows and that do not outsource the milk, only those brands can provide authentic A2 ghee. This ghee was made from the milk of cows that are tied to ropes 24/7. They are never allowed to roam freely. And those cows are not 100% pure. They have certain a mix of exotic blood which is not visible in first look. So this goes unnoticed if this is not especially looked at. And then those cows are fed rice paddy straw. So the paddy straw is not the best of roughages or dry matter for the cows. And then the green fodder that those cows are fed. So the green fodder has pesticides and other kinds of chemicals to it, so that also has a bearing on the quality of the milk and everything else. Those cows are not the healthiest of the cows. So healthy cows, they have a certain kind of disposition, they have a certain kind of temperament. When you look at those cows, they are playing around, licking each other, and they are very happy around each other, because just like in humans, cows also have their brain directly connected to their guts. So if their guts are healthy, if they are feeding healthily, only then can they be happy as well. And they are also, our cows are not tied to ropes. They are allowed to freely roam, and they are also allowed to graze freely in certain months of the season. So this is also very important for the cows, that they should have a taste of natural food. Very important is it for the cows. Then what we feed the cows, so the dry roughage that we feed them is sourced from the Marwar region of Rajasthan. So this region is totally rain-fed, mostly rain-fed, you could say. And the dry fodder that you get from that region, it's mostly devoid of pesticides and chemicals. So that also goes a long way to make our cows happy. And then we feed our cows with green gram husk. It has a great bearing on the feed mix of our cows, because it's completely organic. It's one of the few items you could get organic, healthy, and which also has lots of proteins in it. We also feed our cows guar. Guar is rarely fed these days. It was a main component of cow's diet historically in ancient times, but these days it's very rare. So we feed them with guar. It's rare because it's very difficult to process guar. It has to be heated overnight on low flames and then fed to the cows in the morning. So that's a difficult process. then it's also very expensive. But it's very crucial to cow's diet because guar is made from go ahar. So go ahar means diet of the cows. So it's literally a word that translates into the diet of the cow. So that's how important guar is for the cow. So on that note, we source guar dry fodder. The guar crop, when it's harvested, so there is dry fodder left as a byproduct. We source that and we feed the cows that as well. So that also has a great bearing on the quality of our ghee. And then very important is it to judge that the hormonal cycle of the cows is in place as well. The cows are not repeating in their heats. So there's a lot of factors that go into the play, and they're often overlooked even by the herders themselves. So I live with the cows. I spend a majority of my time with the cows. I even milk them. So I know the mood of each individual cow. It's very important that you should know the mood of your cows as well, because you get ghee from them. So they are your cows as well, technically. So it's very important to look at these factors as well. And then one of the trends these days is to feed the cows industrial feed. Industrial feeds have certain ingredients which cows do not like to eat naturally at all. So they feed on the feeds slowly, and it's like they're forced to feed on those feeds. It's increasingly coming into the trend to increase the milk